Let's see if Tobias is on there as well. Tobias, are you here with us?
Hello,
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Very good, very good. Where are you from?
I'm from Germany,
Nice. So we have,
based in Frankfurt.
based in Frankfurt. So we have people from the Philippines, Germany right now, Switzerland, all over the world. Israel to presentations this morning. So now it's time for Germany. What are you? How is life in Germany these days?
Actually, it's good. I just returned from Barcelona, where we
Oh,
attended the Integrated Systems Europe Fair. So therefore, it's quite good. Had a bit of sun in Barcelona, and now back here at work.
how was the fair in Barcelona?
It was interesting, though. Of course, Microsoft is playing a big part in what they're doing in the meeting rooms, hybrid working. So these are the topics, and also smart building is taking over more and more of the discussion. So that's really cool to see.
Nice. Well, this whole day is gonna we have talks about smart building. You are gonna talk about smart building system integration, turning ideas into reality. Do you have some slides with you?
Yes, I do. Let me see if that's gonna work. So where we are.
Yeah, it should work. I know for sure. We
Yeah.
did it before.
So here we go.
Yeah,
Let me
here
go
we go.
into
Global PropTech Online talk. It says
yes.
that's looking really sharp. Well, I would like to give you the stage, Tobias, and I will be back with you after your presentation.
All right, cool. Good stuff. Thank you. So, hello everyone. Welcome to my presentation today for the next approximately 15 to 20 minutes. I'm going to talk about smart building system integration, turning idea into reality. And what we think the term smart building actually means 100 different things to 100 different people. And sometimes it's a struggle to really identify the use cases that makes most sense and that add value to the building, and also to find the best technology to support the use cases. So in my presentation, you will hear from our day-to-day experience, what are the most popular use cases and how we deploy them in various buildings. And at the end, I'm going to show you a couple of real examples of smart buildings that we completed or that we're currently working in. So just a bit of background. My name is Thobias Enders. I run a company called GMS. We are part of GPA, Global Alliance. A few words on this later. And our focus is really systems integration in the field of smart buildings and AV technology, like hybrid meeting rooms and this type of stuff. So when we speak to our customers and start projects, we typically hear three things, three drivers are relevant for smart buildings. And the first very significant driver is energy efficiency. Everyone wants to operate his buildings energy efficient. That's a key fact. In the past, this was more about the ESG stuff, the regulatory stuff, but with the shortage of Russian gas and also the inflation that is driving the prices, that's a key thing for our customers. The second part is space optimization. After the COVID crisis, we all saw that home office is quite nice and here to stay. So we will still be in the home office, and from our perspective, people might find out that they have lots of office spaces and they need to figure out how can we optimize our space best. So that's another thing. And here, smart building technologies can help, of course, and we see quite significant savings, 30%, 40% of office space. That's typically the range that we see when it comes to space optimization. And the third aspect is workspace experience. So with the workspace experience that will still be part of the workspace that will still be part of your setup, workspace experience is a big driver. So we want to make the building more productive, more engaging, And therefore, workspace experience is a very, very crucial thing when it comes to smart buildings. Standards are more and more important, and we all know that industry standards are really relevant, a proof that something works or it doesn't work. And I wanted to highlight the two certifications here, Wired Score and Smart Score. We see them more and more popping up, and the Wired Score and Smart Score certifications are really driving the standard into the building sector. While Wired Score is more about, let's say, the basic connectivity of the building, how to run the cables, what providers we can bring into the building, etc. Smart Score talks about the use cases. And when it's about the use cases, that's really what we think a smart building should offer back to the users. So if you see this label next to a building, you can see that this is perceived as a smart building in some way, shape, or form. A really important topic from my perspective is the discussion new buildings versus retrofits. When we talk about smart buildings, quite often we think about the new buildings, the landmark buildings with all the fancy stuff that is going on, very nice architecture, lots of use cases. But ultimately, I think that we can add much more value when it comes to the retrofits. And this is also a much broader market from our perspective. So a smart building should not be just perceived as a new building. It should also work in retrofit scenarios. And this is where we can help to improve the situation in the building when it comes to energy, where we can help to improve the situation when it comes to the feeling, to the productivity of the people in the building. So retrofits are really a core center from our perspective in the future. The claim of our company is we make complex things simple. And I can tell you that a setup of a smart building is super complex, or it can be super complex. On one side, we have the existing building technology that has to be integrated in a smart building setup. We need a smart building platform, like an integration layer. People want to control the smart building with apps or with displays or with other kiosk screens. We need to add IoT sensors on top of the scenario. And of course, other software platforms might need to be plugged into the smart building, like software managers or the tenants. So then it comes really to the full setup of a smart building. But I don't want to focus on the technology first. I want to touch more on the use cases and the value add that we bring with a smart building. So this slide shows this typical day in a life scenario. And it's a slide that has been produced by one of our key partners. They're called Think Technologies, and they run a smart building platform. And what it's really about is, what do I need to prepare when I go to my working day? What is the things that I want to do in a building? And I don't want to touch on each and every of these different use cases here. But from our perspective, something that is super critical is you should focus on a platform instead of different individual apps. If you end up with lots of apps, the utilization and the acceptance of the people that using the smart building functionality will definitely decrease. So therefore, this is from our perspective important to have a smart building platform. And during all the projects, we found out that there are a couple of use cases that add most value from our perspective. And I want to give you a bit of intro into the use cases that we typically deploy in smart buildings. The first use case is intelligent booking. As I said right to the start, space optimization is really critical. So intelligent bookings is one of the key drivers. Quite often, people start with the demand of, we want a booking system. And this is something that I'm sorry. Intelligent booking is a key driver. We want to optimize the space. And it's not just about the software, it's also about the hardware that needs to be perceived in this intelligent booking, like IoT sensors to measure the desk occupancy and other stuff. The second driver, when we moved to intelligent bookings into a desk sharing scenario, is everything around orientation in the building, like indoor navigation and other use cases. This improves, of course, the well-being of the people in the office. If you don't know if your co-workers are around, you need to have a better orientation. If you work into different spaces in the building that you might have not used before. So orientation is really critical. It can be a basic positioning system, and in larger campus buildings or in large buildings, of course, we deploy things like indoor navigation, but that need to be fit for purpose for the building. If we have the desk sharing, the booking site, if we have the positioning and the orientation, typically we add things like building control. And building control is something that the end user can benefit from, give them a little bit of control back in the building. In most cases, we recommend to have the building control as automated as we can. But in private spaces, we know that people still want to control the building, like the climate, the lights, the blinds. This stuff should be controllable in some way, shape, or form. And this is where building control helps. And another thing that typically comes with the building control is the connectivity of the building to the smart building platform. And this will give us a lot of data points, for instance, the energy consumption of metering. And this is critical for ESG reporting and to improve the energy efficiency of the building in the future. And the last use case that I want to highlight here is access control or access management. Access control, of course, adds a wow factor to the building. Access control is something that also improves the comfort of the people in the building. And I think we all know when we visit a building at the first time how frustrating this can be. We ring the parking and no one has booked a parking for us, and we need to sign in at the reception. We need to sit in the lobby. So all this stuff takes a lot of time and is typically not the best experience that we can have. And on the other side, it's also for the normal visitors that go in the building every day. If they can get rid of the key cards, of the transponders, that's quite nice. If they can access the building without a device or just with their smartphone, that's typically something that people like. And also corporate real estate managers love the fact that they can give access or revoke access with just a click and without the need to collect badges back. So that's the access management situation. And a couple of real world examples that I promised you are gonna show. The first two projects that I highlight here is the Allianz Sky office in Düsseldorf. So here we implemented a building operating system, and we added a couple of use cases like people counting, air quality measurements, and Wi-Fi based analysis of the occupant, and also intelligent electricity metering. The landlord, of course, want to understand what's going on in the building. They want to be prepared for the future. They want to see how people use the building, and this is where all these use cases can help. The second is a new building. It's based in Leipzig. It's the Unite headquarters. So they develop a new building for their employees, and the core here is workspace experience. They want to be seen as one of the best employers in the regions. So they add things like the smart booking, a locker integration based on vCOS, buglet integration. And we also integrate a lot of high-touch AV installations on top of the smart building functionalities that we see here. The third and the fourth are buildings in Düsseldorf. The Oval, again, it's a new building. It's a multi-tenant building where we implemented a smart building integration layer and building app based on Thingit. We have indoor navigation with Bluetooth beacons, sensor-based occupancy analytics, and also access control. And we can also add facility management workflows on top that people can easily raise incidents, for instance, with the facility management if they see there's something is wrong in the building. And the fourth here is the K2 building in Düsseldorf. It's the building with the green facade. But when they built the building, they have not considered smart building use cases. So it's a retrofit, although the building is relatively new. And we added for the tenants occupancy analytics, and we integrated with BugNet. We have a access control system that is retrofitted. So we see also sometimes in new buildings, it turned out to be a retrofit situation when things were forgotten during the first planning. And a bit of outlook, a project that we are super proud of, that we are part of it, is the Skypark Business Center. The Skypark Business Center is a building located next to the Luxembourg Airport, and they essentially implement all the use cases that we saw on this Day in a Life slide, plus a couple of more, and it's currently under construction, and we are part of the smart building strategy and be the system integrator of the smart building. And yeah, I think this will be one of the new landmark buildings when it comes to smart building in Europe, by size, but also by the use cases, by the variety of use cases that we're going to implement. So you should watch out for this. They have also some nice YouTube videos from the Luxembourg Airport. And that's it for my presentation. A few facts and figures on our company. We are the GPA team in Germany, just quite recently named as the biggest global systems integrator with 4,500 employees worldwide, and yeah, focused on smart building and AV technology. And I hope that I made it in time. I think that's the 20 minutes, and maybe you guys have some questions for me, and I'm looking forward to discuss with you during the next couple of minutes. Thank you very much for your attention.
Yeah, thank you, Thobias. Really nice. So where in this smart building space do you see the most happening? Is it existing buildings, or is it the new buildings?
Yeah, that's a very good question. So in the past, it was heavily focused on new buildings, but right now we see more and more drive to the existing buildings, especially with the inflation that is going on. That let's say there's a bit of a stop of new buildings being developed. People get their head around, okay, how can we optimize our portfolio? So that's why we see a big drive in these retrofit situations.
Cool. And how is it? How about the ESG stuff? Everybody's talking about ESG. Is that also driving the demand for smarter buildings?
Yeah. So as I said to the beginning, we have the three drivers: energy, the whole ESG situation is a big driver, space optimization, and the workspace experience. And I'm sure you guys are familiar with the 330-300 rule of JLL.
Yes.
If you're not, then you can Google it, but that's a very good thing to explain the value that we create in a smart building, where the 3 is the ESG stuff, $3 per square feet. We have the 30 on the space and the rental cost, and we have the 300 for the productivity and the payroll in the building, which is a little bit how we can explain where really the value add is. So we truly believe that it's about the productivity. That's the biggest value add, making people more productive, healthier in the building. That's one of the key drivers for us.
Yeah, cool. And then you, of course, you talked about those three things: the energy efficiency, the space optimization, and the workspace experience. Which do you think is the most important? Which do you like the most? Which do you yourself like the most?
I think I like the most the workspace experience, of course, because I think this is where we can generate the biggest impact on the long run. But right now, the biggest driver when it comes to verification of a TCO, return on invest, space optimization, is super critical. If you can say to a tenant, with a couple of sensors and a smart building platform, you can save 30% of your real estate cost, that's a no-brainer. Right?
Yeah, that's a no-brainer. Yeah, that's very interesting. Well, in which parts of Europe are you now active? Is it mainly focused on Germany, or also different kind of countries?
Yeah, so our company, as I said, we are GPA team in Germany. So we are heavily focused on Germany and Austria, but our teams work international, so we are not limited. And we do this all over the place. But I drive this. I'm really passionate about smart building, as passionate as a German can be. That's a disclaimer, right? But I'm driving the smart building stuff in our group. Yeah.
Cool, very cool. Well, thank you very much, Thobias, for being with us this morning. I hope you have had a nice time, and I hope to see you back soon. And if we ever can help you, just let us know.
All right. Thank you very much for having me, and it was a pleasure.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Bye-bye. Bye.